Welcome back to BreslovCampus. Insights in the parsha of the week, Parshat Tzav, which amazingly falls right after Purim. An amazing connection between Purim and the Parshat Tzav is one of the main highlights of the parsha is the Thanksgiving offering, the Korban Todah, of which the sages mention that in time to come, when Moshiach comes, all other types of sacrifices, sin offerings, burnt offerings, peace offerings will disappear, and the one sacrifice that will continue to exist is the Thanksgiving offering. And there's a lot of depth in this. In that, Rebbe Nachman teaches, Rebbe Nachman also elaborates on this point, that the goal, ultimate goal of this world is to give thanks to Hashem. You see this also in the setup of the prayer service, in the Shmoneh Esrei, that the sages first instituted that a person praise Hashem, and then request all the requests, and then to give thanksgiving. Because that's how it is normally by a person. That a person goes through trials and tribulations, so as an opening, he first praises Hashem to open up his mind to the reality of the greatness of the one he's about to talk to request, and that there is power here, there is a benefit. And then a person opens up their broken heart with all the difficulties, all the setbacks, all the obstacles and suffering that a person's going through. Person mentions all those points, and the result of all that is such a relief that then a person is able really to give thanks for the good and to appreciate the good. And this is so important that this is going to be what's called, Rebbe Nachman calls the Sha'ashua Olam Haba, the delight of the world to come, in giving thanks to Hashem. Because ultimately, that's all a person has to take with him. A person can cry over my sins and forgiveness and yearning, but ultimately what a person can carry with them constantly is the attitude of thanksgiving. It is so powerful that Rav Nosson writes in Likutei Halachot that if people would be very frequent in giving thanks to Hashem, and it would be a common practice by all tzaddikim and by extension by the whole Jewish people, Moshiach would have been here by now. If people got into the habit of giving thanks, as opposed to what? As opposed to just always crying and being negative and feeling lacking, but to continue it with the giving thanks, which is the follow-up to the crying and the expression of lackings and difficulties and setbacks. By afterwards, if people would then follow it up with giving thanks, Moshiach would have been here by now. The world would have been totally rectified. That's what Rav Nosson writes. So this is something very special, and that the sages say that that's the only sacrifice that's going to be in the future, is to remind us that this is the goal. The goal of life is to be able to feel the connection, to be connected, and the being connected to Hashem is reflected by giving thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We should have the merit to reach this level in this world constantly and fixed, to be able to constantly thank Hashem on a regular basis.